January 21st, 22nd, Monday and Tuesday. We are hearing about this giant eclipse. It's called a full solar eclipse. When the sun and the moon are opposite each other, this is the degrees that are important. You want to pay attention to the degree of the moon when there's an eclipse and how it affects your chart. So anywhere from 0 degrees of Leo to 3 degrees of Leo, if you know astrology, you are going to take your chart out and look in the circle of where is 0 degrees of Leo in your chart. So in my case, for example, it's on the very top of my chart. This eclipse is going to affect my career. That's how I would assume as an astrologer to interpret it. You go look and see what sign, we know it's Leo, what house is a degree. This is all technical, and most of you watching Astrology Answers are astrology buffs. You're interested, but the actual application requires a good astrologer to sit down with you and say, this eclipse provides some potential. Every eclipse does that. There are markers in time where you stop and you pay attention. You make an intention. You give yourself a marker where you say, from now on, da-da-da-da-da. Now, it's in Leo. The sun is opposite. Here it is in Aquarius, just entered. Here's the moon. This conversation goes like this. Aquarius is super detached. They have this wonderful independence. They don't care what you think. They have a freedom of thought. They have an open-mindedness. They're humanitarians. They care about everybody. Opposite is Leo, totally care what you think and how I look and does the thing match and wanting to get your approval. And they care more about their family and their own special people than they do about humanity as a collective. So the opposition is this universal love and then this very personal love, like love affairs and your one and only and your heart. So it's an opposition that creates a dynamic or a dialogue about how able am I to look at my individual Leo tendency of being special. I call it special. And yet stay true to my uniqueness without my ego describing special as different from you, but everyone has a special quality. So it becomes this very interesting conversation of, can I be myself, have my ego, feel good about myself, think I'm a good mom, or I'm a good teacher, or I'm a good speaker, or I'm a good dancer, that's the Leo, but not get so lost in it that it separates me from you, because that's the downside of Aquarius. They feel separate. They stand apart. They don't fit in. And that dynamic of being special and yet being connected is a very particular art form. So that's the conversation for Monday and Tuesday. There's also a grand trine in water. Beep. That was a mistake. There's a grand trine in fire. I like making mistakes and being authentic for you because it's in fire. And fire people are so honest. And Aquarius is so weird. And I just did it for you. We have Jupiter and Venus in Sag. We have Mars in Aries. And we have that big fat moon in Leo. There's a lot of chi, that grand trine in fire. 2 planets that are a big blue line, one leg of a triangle. The third planet equally a blue line, 120 degrees. We call that a grand trine in fire. It gives chi. So if you're learning about astrology, this is a super animated time. There's an eclipse, there's a grand trine, there's Aquarius, and there's Leo. And it's all asking for us to do the most important thing of all, which is to learn about who you are in the scheme of things. Are you an individualistic person who's comfortable being strange and making mistakes and not being self-conscious? Or are you super self-conscious and feeling really uncomfortable being yourself without getting approval? That's the conversation of this eclipse. Individuality with the comfort of being yourself no matter what. Thank you, Astrology Answers, for giving me the chance to say this eclipse matters. And you might want to consult an astrologer to see where that 0 degree Leo hits your chart. But most of all, you want to give yourself permission to be uninhibitedly yourself, make mistakes, and not have to feel self-conscious, but rather transparent and disarm yourself by being able to be human. There's nothing like it. Being yourself and being comfortable in your own skin makes this life so much more fun.